Look, up in the sky!
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman! Is without a doubt one of the most powerful, if arguably the most powerful DC superhero, capable of impressive feats such as tossing a Justice League level threat Darkseid when he's not holding back, coming out of a planet and sun-destroying explosion with no visible damage done to his body, and lifting 200 quintillion tons.
You're lifting 200 quintillion tons.
I feel like I could do more.
No doubt, but that's the heaviest apparatus known to man.
Enough Superman glaze. You get it, he's a beast. But even in most animated versions, there's a surefire way to take him down, that being none other than Kryptonite.
Ah, Kryptonite again? How much of that stuff is still around? I mean, every boss battle I ever have, some asshole has Kryptonite, a big chunk of it. And it's ridiculous because it's supposed to be extremely rare. How much of that damn planet floated over here? I mean, isn't that like light years away?
Today I'll be discussing the evolution of Kryptonite, and surprisingly no one's covered this topic. The closest I found was a video of live-action Supermen being affected by Kryptonite. So I said to myself,
fine, I'll do it myself.
Today I'll be collecting Kryptonite like Thanos collects the Infinity Stones, but instead of just showing every on-screen green Kryptonite appearance, I'll be discussing every colored variety that's appeared in on-screen animation and their effects. What better Kryptonite to start off with other than the Kryptonite color that started it all, the original, the classic, green Kryptonite. Out of every Kryptonite color that has made an appearance in on-screen animation, green Kryptonite has easily made the most appearances, as it has appeared in 16 different animated movies and 13 different animated series. Green Kryptonite made its animated debut in the Super Friends episode titled The Androids, which aired on October 27th, 1973. But admittedly, I could be wrong since there's a 1940s Superman cartoon, but I wasn't about to watch 2+ hours just for this bit, so if I missed something, feel free to correct me. The origins of Kryptonite would later be revealed in Superman the Animated Series episode titled A Little Piece from Home. In this episode, we see Lex Luthor open a museum of his artifacts he owns, which two robbers show up to steal, but as always, Superman comes to the rescue, but suddenly he's noxious and collapses on the floor, allowing the robbers to escape. Luthor would later review the footage of this and realizes Superman only weakened near the green rock. Seeing its potential, he quickly recognizes it as a powerful weapon, even allowing common crooks to escape Superman because of it. It would also be later revealed to Superman that he's weak to this green rock when Lois manages to get her hands on a fragment of it given to her by Professor Peterson. She would then take it to Professor Hamilton, where it's revealed that this green rock comes from another solar system. And not only does it originate from the same planet where Superman comes from, which is the planet Krypton, but it's a fragment of it, hence why it's called Kryptonite, which is why Superman and other Kryptonians absorb the deadly radiation that emits from it so readily. But don't think that just because you're a regular human and not a Kryptonian, that you're safe from the deadly radiation that green Kryptonite emits, as it's revealed in the Justice League animated series episode titled Injustice for All Part 1, that humans are also vulnerable to green Kryptonite. When Lex Luthor seemingly manages to incapacitate Superman using a big chunk of Kryptonite, just for it to be revealed that it was Martian Manhunter the whole time. Startled by this, Lex attempts to make a getaway which quickly fails when he appears to have strenuous pain in his chest and passes out. He later wakes up in the hospital where the doctor reveals Lex is suffering from a terminal illness, and this is because
Kryptonite only affects you.
Actually, we're finding that it can affect humans too, but only if they're exposed over a long period.
And trust me, Lex has most definitely been around Kryptonite a lot. Now, knowing this info and thinking about how many times we've seen Batman carry around Kryptonite, it makes me wonder, Batman, are you okay? Do you find yourself in similar situations like this, trying to use bullets or knives to take down Superman, but it doesn't work?
If the bullets don't work, why the punching?
Well, this is because of Superman's invulnerability, which protects his skin from being pierced from those things. Well, worry no more and come visit the Kryptonite shop, where you can get yourself a variety of Kryptonite-based weapons powerful enough to pierce through a Kryptonian skin and incapacitate them. We have it all, ranging from Kryptonite weapons, accessories, food, traps, and mind control, and we'll be showcasing our entire collection, starting with the weapons. Are you finding that missiles and bullets can't affect the Man of Steel? Well, that's because you aren't using the right kind. Let me introduce you to our firearms, starting with our advanced Kryptonite laser firearms, which includes the ray gun, firing a long, continuous, powerful beam of Kryptonite energy, and the Kryptonite laser sniper, ideal for taking down Kryptonians from a far distance. Our electrical Kryptonite laser blaster, which will incapacitate the Man of Steel without fail. Kryptonite laser rifles, laser machine guns, and laser dual pistols. Do you find our laser weapons to be too high-tech and would like to stick to something more conventional? Well, don't worry, because we have Kryptonite ammunition such as Kryptonite bullets and a Kryptonite-infused arrow which is compatible with your everyday firearms and bow. Now let's showcase our Kryptonite melee weapons, starting with our swords, then moving on to our Kryptonite forearm blades, Kryptonite scalpel,
I'm going to carve out your heart.
Kryptonite dagger, and Kryptonite bladed boomerangs. which will be sure to cut through the Man of Steel like hot knife through butter. But maybe you're not interested in cutting the Man of Steel, no problem. We've got just the blunt force weapon you need to beat Superman into submission. Don't want to end up like this guy? Well, then don't be an idiot and try to punch Superman with your bare fist. Instead, get yourself a pair of Kryptonite boxing gloves. But maybe you want something that'll do even more damage. Introducing our Kryptonite spiked brass knuckles. We even have an upgraded version that emits Kryptonite electricity. Are you a fan of The Walking Dead and want to take down Superman Negan style? Then we have the perfect thing for you. Our Kryptonite spiked baseball bat. Time to unveil the heavy weapons. These are the powerhouses of our weaponry, built for anyone serious about bringing down Superman or any Kryptonian. Introducing our Kryptonite bomb, colossal Kryptonite laser cannon, Kryptonite smoke bomb launcher, the mega scale electrical Kryptonite ray cannon, a nuke with a Kryptonite warhead. But maybe you're interested in turning things up a notch? Then we have the thing just for you, the Mr. Mixie's Piddleick nuke with a Kryptonite warhead. Don't know who Mr. Mixie is? Well, not to get too much into the specifics, but to sum it up, he's a fifth-dimensional imp who can warp reality on a whim. Next is our Kryptonite orbital cannon. Just give a transaction fee, a time and location, and we'll use our personal satellite to drop a huge strike of Kryptonite energy on Superman or any Kryptonian. And to conclude our weapons collection, we have the special weapons category. 2 unique weapons that didn't quite fit anywhere else, so they got a category of their own. Firstly, introducing our liquidized Kryptonite in a syringe. Half a dosage of this injected into a Kryptonian will permanently remove their powers and leave them extremely ill, while a full dosage of this will kill them. We already discussed our Kryptonite scalpel, which can be used as a surgical tool, but we have an even better surgical tool to offer you. Introducing our surgical robot, which comes fixed with a Kryptonite sharp tip, which will allow you to operate on Kryptonians. An army of sentient, life-sized Kryptonite rubber soldiers, courtesy of Toyman. These rubber soldiers can be used as muscle to protect you or even take down Superman. And to completely finalize our weapons category is our Kryptonite mech suit, the ultimate package. An extremely durable mech suit that grants you Superman-level strength and flight via boot thrusters, armed with Kryptonite-infused missiles. If you truly want to face Superman head-on and take him down, this is the product just for you. But maybe you don't want to do all the heavy lifting. That's fine, because we also offer unmanned Kryptonite robotic mechs. They come equipped with laser cannons that fire Kryptonite-infused lasers and a Kryptonite arm blade, and they have the ability of flight via Kryptonite-infused rocket thrusters. Next up, our Kryptonite accessories, wearable and body-applied gear made from real Kryptonite. Some of you might have heard that Kryptonite is deadly to humans with prolonged exposure, but we're here to tell you that's a load of crud. Don't let these puppets fearmonger you.
But sir, we had to lay off half of our staff last month because they were too ill to work efficiently, and this was because of Kryptonite poison.
Shut up! Don't listen to that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyways, firstly introducing our assortment of Kryptonite rings, then moving on to our Kryptonite crown. Looks very nice on Superman if I say so myself. Our liquid Kryptonite tattoo. Instead of the traditional ink tattoos, liquid Kryptonite will allow you to pierce through Kryptonian skin, leaving them with a painful and permanent tattoo that will severely weaken their powers. Nextly is our Kryptonite lipstick. Want to give a Kryptonian a kiss they'll never forget? Make sure to apply this to your lips before you kiss one. And lastly is our Kryptonite plated grills. This fashion piece will have your teeth looking nice, but it can also be used for those who can't seem to bite through Kryptonian flesh. So far, we have fully covered our weaponry and accessories, but maybe fashion or killing Superman isn't your style. That's perfectly fine, because we offer a wide variety of Kryptonite-based traps that'll allow you to incapacitate Superman. Are you a fellow supervillain and want to be able to commit your supervillain activities while putting a roadblock on Superman's crime fighting? Well, chains aren't gonna work, you numb nut. Which is why we're proud to introduce our Kryptonite chains, durable enough to hold up to 3 Kryptonians in place. Next is our tunnel embedded with Kryptonite stones. Just lure a Kryptonian inside and watch them faint. Kryptonite putty, a thick dough-like substance which can be used to wrap around Superman, making it stick to his body, very difficult to remove, and leaving him restrained. Next up is our Kryptonite rope pressure plate trap. The name is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain it anyways. This cleverly camouflaged pressure plate blends seamlessly with the floor using cloaking technology. When an unsuspecting victim steps on it, Kryptonite-infused ropes spring out, swiftly wrapping around your victim and restraining their movement. Alternatively, we offer the Kryptonite hologram dummy trap, a decoy that tricks Superman into attacking what appears to be a henchman, only for the hologram to vanish and release a Kryptonite net, restraining him instantly. Speaking of dummies, we also offer the Dummy in Distress, a lifelike dummy that appears to be a damsel in distress. As soon as it's touched, it will spew out Kryptonite gas that Superman will involuntarily breathe in, point, causing him to fall to the floor weakened. And to conclude our traps category is our Kryptonite jail cell, an advanced holographic force field that traps Superman in any room using the Kryptonite force field, which will weaken him to the point where making escape by brute force impossible. Nextly is our Kryptonite food. Ever wondered what Kryptonite tasted like? Well, now you can know with our line of edible Kryptonite-infused food. Not sure what to give Superman for his birthday.
I mean, what do you buy for the man who has everything?
Well, we have the perfect recommendation for a birthday gift, that being our Kryptonite-infused cookies and cream cake. Just look at him, he loves it. But, I will admit, it does look like Superman is having a bit of a hard time getting that Kryptonite cake down, no worries, because he can wash it down with our Kryptonite milkshake. And to complete our Kryptonite shop lineup is our mind control equipment. Want Superman to obey your every command, even fight other superheroes for you? Well, that can be made possible with our mind control equipment. Firstly, introducing a product we already discussed earlier in our accessories category is our Kryptonite lipstick. Not only can this be used for kissing, but once you kiss a Kryptonian with Kryptonite lipstick applied, they'll be under your mind control and obey your every order. And our second and also our last piece of mind control equipment is our poison ivy pheromones infused with Kryptonite particles. If Superman or any Kryptonian were to breathe in even a little of this, their eyes will emit a green glow and they'll fall under your mind control. And that concludes our full lineup of products at the Kryptonite shop. Visit our website now. First 50 customers get a 50% discount, and I'm so confident in our products that I'm willing to give a refund to any unsatisfied customer. And you might be wondering, what makes me so confident in these products? I'm glad you asked that, and the reasoning would be because we tested our products on none other than Superman himself, and he approves. Isn't that right, Superman? Isn't that right, Superman? Superman? This is the part where you nod your head and say your line. Superman? Oh shit. Now moving on to the second colored variety of Kryptonite, that being red Kryptonite. Unlike green Kryptonite, red Kryptonite isn't deadly to Superman. Instead, it can cause Superman to either act out of character or have an unpredictable transformation. Although these effects are temporary, fading after a certain duration of time. Red Kryptonite makes its very first on-screen animated appearance in the Super Friends episode titled Terror from the Phantom Zone, where we see exposure to red Kryptonite causes Superman to rapidly age to the point where he's a weak, skinny old man. However, red Kryptonite does the exact opposite in the Super Friends episode titled Uncle Mixie's Piddle Lick, as exposure to red Kryptonite causes Superman's age to decrease to the point where he becomes a bratty little boy. But just like I mentioned earlier, with time, the effects of red Kryptonite eventually go away, which is what exactly happens when Superman goes to bed. Red Kryptonite makes yet another appearance in Bizarro World, where we see Bizarro lure Superman to a cave full of red Kryptonite, which causes Superman to be stripped of his strength and good looks. Nextly is the Super Friends episode titled Revenge of Bizarro, where red Kryptonite exposure causes Superman to grow an extra pair of limbs. Red Kryptonite appears in the animated show titled Krypto the Super Dog a total of 6 times, so I'm going to briefly talk about what red Kryptonite does in each of these 6 appearances. In the episode titled Doggone Kevin, Krypto the Super Dog's owner named Kevin opens a gift he got for his friend named Andrea. When he opens the gift, it's revealed to be a red Kryptonite necklace, which causes Kevin and Krypto to swap bodies. In the episode Bat-Hound for a Day, Krypto teams up with Batman's dog, Ace the Bat-Hound, to stop a jewel heist. When one of the thieves tries to get away with a bag full of gems, it rips, which causes many gems, including red Kryptonite, to spill out, stripping Krypto of his powers such as his flight, super strength, and everything that makes him super.
That's no jewel, it's red Kryptonite.
This time it's taken away my powers.
In the episode titled The Living End, one of Krypto's friends named Paw Pooch manages to find red Kryptonite on the moon. When this rock is shown to Krypto, it causes his tail to fall off and gain sentience, turning the tail into a living being.
Oh no, I've been detailed! Free at last!
In Super Dog Who's Super Dog, Krypto digs up a dirt pile to stop a group of troublemaking dogs, but dirt wasn't the only thing Krypto dug up, as a piece of red Kryptonite was found on top of the dirt pile, which causes Krypto to lose his memories.
Do you know where I'm supposed to go?
It made him forget everything. I don't even think he knows who he is.
In Furry Fish, a piece of red Kryptonite washes up on shore. When exposed to this piece of red Kryptonite, Krypto and his friend Streaky the Super Cat turn into furry fish. And the final appearance red Kryptonite makes in Krypto the Super Dog is in the episode titled Kids in Capes, where exposure to red Kryptonite causes anyone who touches Krypto the Super Dog to gain Kryptonian superpowers, allowing Krypto's owner and his friend Andrea to become superheroes. Now, let's talk about the brief appearance red Kryptonite made in the CG animated movie titled DC League of Super Pets. In this movie, it's revealed by a hairless hamster named Lulu that red Kryptonite gave her permanent hair loss.
The red Kryptonite made my hair fall out.
Now that we've discussed the unpredictable transformations caused by red kryptonite, let's talk about its behavior-changing effects that are shown in the animated series titled Batman the Brave and the Bold. In the episode titled The Battle of the Superheroes, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen receive a gift from someone anonymous, who they believe to be Superman. Lois gets a red gemstone necklace, while Jimmy receives a red gemstone watch. Immediately afterwards, the chief of the Daily Planet, Perry White, tells Jimmy and Lois that Superman is battling Toyman. Wasting no time, Jimmy and Lois show up to the scene immediately with a pen, notebook, and camera to interview Superman. But suddenly, Superman's demeanor shifts, his smile fades, and he hurls Toyman aside before charging in for a killing blow. Just in time, Batman swoops in to save Toyman. Batman then tells Superman what he tried to do is unacceptable and that he can't play judge, jury, and executioner. Reluctantly, Superman lets Toyman go with Batman, but lets Batman know that if he interferes again, it'll be him at the receiving end of his killing blow. Afterwards, we see Superman commit several atrocities upon the civilians of Metropolis, such as using his heat vision to reject an autograph from a young fan and to destroy a gift Jimmy gave him, using his super breath to turn a sunny, nice day on the beach into a stormy, windy day, destroying a bridge which causes traffic, intentionally leaving a cat stuck on a tree which causes a little girl to cry, and ditching the date he planned with Lois to go out with another girl. Batman begins to piece things together, realizing Superman's behavior changed after the Toyman robbery, specifically after being near the red gemstone jewelry worn by Lois and Jimmy. When he asks to examine the pieces, they gladly hand them over due to how Superman's been mistreating them. After examining the red gemstone jewelry in the Batcave, Batman made the revelation that the red gemstone is red kryptonite, and that someone anonymous duped Lois and Jimmy into wearing it and getting it near Superman. Afterwards, Superman overthrows the mayor and declares himself ruler of Metropolis, ruling with an iron fist. Batman opposes Superman, leading to a showdown between the two. Eventually, the effects of red kryptonite fade, and Superman returns to his true self. Next is the appearance red kryptonite makes in the animated series titled Justice League Action. In the short episode titled True Colors, we see Superman fight a robotic villain named Metallo. At first, Superman has the upper hand, up until we see Metallo exploit Superman's weakness to kryptonite by revealing his kryptonite heart. Seeing Superman lying on the floor weakened, Firestorm comes to the rescue and uses his ability to change physical matter into anything he wants on Metallo's kryptonite heart. He intended on changing the kryptonite heart into lead, but instead accidentally changed it into anger-inducing red kryptonite, which causes Superman to lash out in rage and impulse. And the final appearance red kryptonite makes in on-screen animation is in the animated series titled DC Superhero Girls in the episode titled Seeing Red. A small kryptonite creature called the Red Kryptomite is walking loose around the school, causing anyone who gets exposed to its radiation to act like a complete jerk, except for Starfire, as her Tamarinian physiology grants her immunity.
It is the Kryptonite! The red makes the humans the angry. My Tamaranian DNA does not react to the wily ways of the Kryptonite.
Also off topic, but there's no way the character designer for the Kryptomite didn't play Super Mario Galaxy, because this little shit looks just like a Luma. Now let's discuss blue kryptonite. If I were to make a tier list ranking every kryptonite based off how deadly it is to Superman, S tier being the deadliest and F tier being the least deadliest, blue kryptonite wouldn't even be in F tier. It would get its own tier called blue kryptonite. I say that because unlike 90% of the kryptonite colors I'll be discussing in this video, blue kryptonite has no negative side effects to Superman. In a matter of fact, it can heal Superman and reverse the effects of red kryptonite, as seen in the animated series titled Super Friends, in the episode titled Terror from the Phantom Zone. When red kryptonite causes Superman's age to increase to that of an old man, Superman comes across a blue kryptonite meteor rock which reverts him back to his original age. Blue kryptonite's restoration ability is showcased yet again in the Super Friends episode titled Bizarro World, where we see Bizarro lure Superman into a cave full of red kryptonite, which causes Superman to turn into a skinny, ugly weakling. But it wasn't long before Superman turned the tables on Bizarro by reverting to his original form via changing the red kryptonite into blue kryptonite. Superman was able to accomplish this by
red kryptonite changes when its rays pass through my blue suit.
Me weak, me give up, oh, you winner, Superman.
Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention that while blue kryptonite has no deadly effects on Superman, this isn't the case with Bizarro. As for him, blue kryptonite is the equivalent of green kryptonite to Superman, because blue kryptonite is deadly to Bizarro and can weaken him. Another instance of blue kryptonite having the ability to weaken one of Superman's villains while being harmless to Superman is shown in the animated movie titled Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. In this movie, we see an evil alternate version of the Justice League called the Crime Syndicate. The evil counterpart for Superman is
Ultraman is the boss of bosses.
But not only is every supervillain in this alternate universe evil versions of heroes we are familiar with. But every hero in this alternate universe is a good version of supervillains we are familiar with. But unfortunately, the crime syndicate killed all of them except for Lex Luthor, who in this universe is a good guy and managed to convince the Justice League to fight alongside him to stop the crime syndicate. We see Lex Luthor and Superman pair up together to confront Ultraman, but Lex Luthor insists that it must be him that takes down Ultraman if his defeat is gonna have any meaning. When we see Lex and Ultraman fight, Ultraman takes down Lex easily, but Lex quickly turns the tide on Ultraman when he pulls out a piece of blue kryptonite.
Blue kryptonite? The only thing that can hurt you. But I destroyed the last piece on Earth? True, but I've been visiting other Earths.
Now let's discuss black kryptonite, which makes only a single and brief appearance in on-screen animation in the animated show titled Justice League Action. In the episode titled True Colors, long story short, Superman gets into a fight with supervillain Metallo, who gains the advantage and leaves Superman at his mercy when he reveals his kryptonite heart. But Firestorm quickly shows up to the scene to try and assist aid to Superman by using his matter manipulation powers to turn the green kryptonite heart into lead, but instead accidentally changes it to
personality-splitting black kryptonite.
Also, speaking of brief appearances, purple kryptonite makes its only and brief appearance in the CG animated movie titled DC League of Super Pets. A hairless hamster named Lulu that Lex Luthor was using as a lab rat to test different kryptonite colors on revealed that
purple gave me uncomfortably vivid dreams.
Now let's talk about the star of the show. Well, I should say movie, because orange kryptonite makes several appearances and plays a huge role in the animated movie titled DC League of Super Pets. In this movie, we see Lex Luthor try to use a shard of orange kryptonite from a huge orange kryptonite meteor he brought to Earth to try and give himself superpowers, but instead he gets a super ass kicking.
What is this? I'm supposed to have superpowers.
They're overrated.
It's later revealed by a hairless hamster named Lulu that the reason why Lex Luthor didn't gain any superpowers from orange kryptonite is because
Orange kryptonite doesn't work on people. It only works on pets.
And throughout the movie, we would see many animals gain superpowers from orange kryptonite. Lulu herself gains flight and telekinesis, Ace gets superhuman strength and invulnerability, PB has size shifting, Merton has super speed, Chip has electrokinesis, Whiskers has a weaponized tail, and this animal has, whatever power this is supposed to be, he can shoot out rainbows. That's cool, I guess. Now let's discuss the kryptonite color that, in my opinion, has the most catastrophic effect on Superman, that kryptonite color being gold kryptonite, which appears in the animated series titled Super Friends in the episode titled Darkseid's Golden Trap. But why have me tell you what golden kryptonite can do when a clip from the episode can?
The only known chunk of gold kryptonite to exist in the entire universe. If Superman were to come within a mere 20 feet of this rock, he would lose his powers forever.
Hearing the auctioneer say this, Darkseid decides to steal the golden kryptonite for himself and plans on using it to strip Superman of his powers permanently. Batman catches wind of this and comes up with a plan of his own instead.
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Batman will have Superman stay in hiding while El Dorado will create an illusion, making Batman appear as Superman. So when Darkseid tosses the kryptonite to who he thinks is Superman, he'll have Firestorm change the gold kryptonite into a bowling ball, eliminating it as a threat, and reveal that
it was easy, Darkseid. Merely an illusion. You used the gold kryptonite on Batman. Superman's powers are intact.
What? Next is the brief appearance gold kryptonite makes in the animated series titled Justice League Action in the short episode titled True Colors. Yes, as you can tell, Firestorm is a fuck-up and keeps accidentally changing the green kryptonite heart into other kryptonite colors. This is no exception with gold kryptonite, which unlike its Super Friends counterpart, it doesn't cause Superman to lose his powers, but rather his memories.
Where am I? Who am I? Why is he punching me? Amnesia-causing gold kryptonite.
And the final appearance gold kryptonite makes in on-screen animation is in the DC Superhero Girls episode titled Powerless. Judging by the title of the episode, you should already know that just like its Super Friends counterpart, gold kryptonite in the show can cause Kryptonians to become powerless, which is exactly what happens to Supergirl when she tries to save a young boy named Garth from Toyman, but instead gets launched across the city by a mechanical rocket fist holding golden kryptonite. Bumblebee then reveals the following information.
Gold kryptonite temporarily takes away your superpowers? There's gold kryptonite now? Come on!
Tell me about it, Kara. There's so many kryptonite colors, which is why I felt the need to make this video. Speaking of kryptonite colors, let's discuss the final kryptonite color of this video. This kryptonite color became a huge meme back in 2022 thanks to the YouTuber Solid JJ, who named drop this kryptonite color in his parody video titled Batman Destroys the Justice League with Facts and Logic. And another YouTuber by the name of Oddities Maybe uploaded an animated animated version of Solid JJ's voiceover, which at the time of uploading this currently has 10 million views.
It used to just be the green one, but now there's all these other ones. There's the red one, the black one, the pink one. We don't talk about the pink one.
Okay, I know that clip doesn't give any context on why pink kryptonite became such a huge meme, so allow me to explain the origins of pink kryptonite. But in order for me to do that, we're gonna have to go back to the year 2003, which is the year Supergirl issue 79 came out, which happens to be the comic where pink kryptonite made its debut. Now, while we don't see pink kryptonite make a on-page appearance, we do get to see exchange dialogue between Supergirl and Lois Lane, where Lois Lane questions Supergirl about Superman's behavior after being exposed to pink kryptonite, where Supergirl responds with, "Lois, you so don't want to know." We then see Superman flirting with Jimmy Olsen, who nervously responds with a thanks, which heavily implies that pink kryptonite causes Kryptonians to be attracted to the same sex. DC Comics would then silently sweep pink kryptonite under the rug and never acknowledge its existence again, but this would all change 14 years later when pink kryptonite makes its glorious return in the animated series titled Justice League Action in the short episode titled True Colors. Long story short, Superman is in a fight with robotic villain named Metallo. Metallo gains the advantage via green kryptonite heart. Firestorm attempts to assist Aid by trying to change the green kryptonite heart into lead, but instead changes it into a bunch of other kryptonite colors. And the final kryptonite color we see in this short episode is pink kryptonite. Rather than having Superman show attraction to the same sex, like the comic book counterpart for pink kryptonite did, in this show, pink kryptonite causes Superman to transform into the opposite sex, turning Superman into Superwoman! And I know for a fact we're all thinking the same thing, so let me be the one to say it out loud and proud. Smash!
Smash.
Smash!
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 On a serious note, the effects of pink kryptonite in this show cause Superman to transform into the opposite gender, and there's no indication that it weakens him. In fact, we see Superman, now Superwoman, confidently kicking Metallo's ass. Right after this, Firestorm remembers that he had written the chemical formula for lead on his wrist, allowing him to finally transform Metallo's kryptonite heart into lead. Once this is accomplished, Superman reverts to his original gender, suggesting that the gender-bending effects of pink kryptonite dissipate once exposure to its radiation ends. And that wraps up the video. I've explored the evolution of kryptonite in on-screen animation, discussing various topics such as the weaponization of green kryptonite and the unique appearances and effects of each kryptonite color. I'll admit I'm not perfect, and I might miss something or make an error in this video. If that's the case, please feel free to correct me. I welcome constructive criticism as long as it's respectful, and if you've made it this far, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which kryptonite color do you think is the deadliest and which one is the most harmless? With the video now wrapped up, please leave a like and subscribe.